Billups began his testimony by giving an autobiographical sketch of his career with the ILA that began back in 1943. Then the union leader explained how he's always tried to help the port and enumerated some of the civic and charitable organizations he belongs to. Finally, the defense counsel, Stanley Sachs, asked Billups if he had ever taken money as a payoff. "No, sir, I did not," Billups answered, and he continued to deny receiving any gifts, favors, or cash because of his position. Earlier in the day, the defense tried to discredit testimony that showed that Billups took a $1,000 bribe here at Alexander's in the Omni in October of 1976. What had happened was the FBI put a hidden tape recorder on Sonny Montella, the man who offered $1,000 to Billups. The FBI version says Billups went, meaning he had accepted the money. But another expert witness testified the tape showed Billups went, and didn't prove that he ever took the cash. The president of Prudential Shipping Lines, Spyros Skouras, also told the jury he was outraged when his former vice president, John Moreno, told him labor problems with the ILA might be solved with an under-the-table payment. Skouras said he refused to authorize the money. Moreno, by the way, is the other man who allegedly bribed Billups. Billups will testify in his own defense again on Tuesday morning, and then will come a lengthy cross-examination process. Then comes the final arguments, which means the earliest the jury can take the case will be sometime on Wednesday. Mike Deason, Area 10 Eyewitness News, Norfolk. It was after meeting with all parties in his chambers for almost an hour and a half following the lunch break that Hoffman announced he would accept the defense motion to have a directed verdict in the charge that Billups accepted a $1,000 bribe at the Omni Hotel. But he said he would deny any other defense motions to have directed verdicts. Earlier, Billups finished his testimony by not only denying any wrongdoing, but also by claiming that a voice played over and over on an FBI tape going and was not really his. The defense also produced an airplane ticket it said proved that Billups was on a plane bound for Norfolk at the time he allegedly received a payoff in New York City. The defense counsel, Stanley Sachs, called a string of character witnesses, including Norfolk State Senator Peter Babelis, prominent attorney Peter Decker, and Norfolk Commissioner of the Revenue Sam Barfield, all of whom praised Billups. But in the afternoon, convicted former local union president Embry Stokes was brought from the Norfolk City Jail to testify he gave Billups several illegal gifts of appreciation from union funds. The defense countered that Stokes, who is testifying under a plea bargaining agreement, is lying. And according to one witness, Stokes once told Billups that Assistant Commonwealth's Attorney Monty Oden, seen here, is crazy and will do anything to get Billups. He doesn't care whether the evidence is true or not. After several days of testimony, arguments, and rebuttal, the trial is finally winding down to its conclusion, and the jury is getting ready to decide whether Myles Billups is guilty or innocent of the remaining charges. Mike Deason, Area 10 Eyewitness News, Norfolk. In closing arguments, the government told the jury to again listen to the tapes of 3 conversations recorded by the FBI where Billups allegedly accepts under-the-table payoffs. Government prosecutors said Billups' claim that the voice on the tapes wasn't his or had been altered is an insult to the jury's intelligence, and that Billups should be convicted because he let down people who believed in him to line his own pockets. But defense counsel Stanley Sachs painted the ILA leader as a man who stands to be completely destroyed by witnesses who he says sold their souls to the government to avoid further prosecution. The government's 2 main witnesses, Sonny Montella and John Moreno, are convicted felons who testified under the Witness Protection Program. Sachs also said that before Montella and Moreno came into Billups' life, the ILA leader had an impeccable reputation. He told the jury the question it must decide is whether it will believe the testimony of 2 convicted felons or of Billups, a man Sachs says exemplifies the American dream. Mike Deason, Area 10 Eyewitness News, Norfolk.